CSI FAH, read by Katrina O'Brien. A story inspired by the behind-the-scenes photos on Patreon for CSI, A Dinner Party So Bad It's Criminal. Written the night before the sketch aired, and so not actually containing any of that sketch's content. This doesn't feel right. Byrne stood up straight to survey the small living room, as though a new angle would make things clearer. It's a crime scene. They're not supposed to feel right. His colleague, Joe O'Hara, is pacing with his usual relentless energy. Crime happens. Rightness has left the building. Is it, though? Even a crime scene? The occupant hadn't turned up to work for a few days and wasn't answering the phone they'd found plugged into a charger in the bedroom. There's a bloody handprint on the wall. That is a handprint in blood, not just a damn handprint. Looks pretty suspicious to me. O'Hara's hand went towards his pocket. No smoking in the crime scene. Aren't you on the patches anyway? Oh, they're shite. He looked up with a grin. Got you to admit it was a crime scene, though. Byrne allowed him a small smile in return. Still, if you're going to smoke, do it outside. See if there are any more neighbours we haven't talked to yet. O'Hara rolled his eyes. Byrne was just looking out for him. But they both knew that the best time to see things clearly were in still moments like this. The forensics team had cleared out, but soon their tea break would be over, and this small flat would be filled with too many people again. Focusing on the minutiae now was big picture time. I've had enough of the neighbours for this morning. Is this an apartment block or a mental hospital? Anything of note? Nothing relevant. The old woman downstairs doesn't wear her hearing aids, and even if she had, she's so pickled in gin I doubt she'd have noticed anything. 1B is still in work, and I'll need to go back to the pair in 1C. Byrne flicked through his notebook. That's Stephen and Gerald, right? Couple or roommates? Dysfunctional, whatever they are. I heard one of them screaming about the other's fear of intimacy. So I decided to interview them later. How about you? Any luck? I'd like you to see if you can get anything from 2A. Michael. I found him very erratic. Most of the info I got was from 2B, Kira, and it wasn't much. No one seemed to know him. Someone knew him. O'Hara looked pointedly at the 2 wine glasses and then at the handprint, whereas we can't even tell if he's the victim of the perp. Byrne cracked his neck, hands in his pockets. He wanted to take off his heavy coat, but didn't want to disturb anything. There's definitely something fishy about it. Fishy? Is it the fish? O'Hara pointed at the mashed remains on the 2 dinner plates. Was there a guy in the wrong place at the wrong time? Byrne was halfway through rolling his eyes when he stopped. That's salmon. Wait. Kira said our guy hated fish. First time she met him, he was cursing out some poor delivery driver about messing up his order. So, if he's cooking salmon, it's for someone worth eating it with, perhaps? Perhaps. The uneasy feeling didn't leave. Something here in the flat is creeping me out. Do you feel like you're being watched? Always. It wasn't a lie. O'Hara was the most paranoid person Byrne knew. So much, he doubted O'Hara would ever tell him what made him so paranoid in the first place. I generally don't, though, but I do here. Byrne began looking at the top of the walls, searching for a camera. Then he took a step back and faltered, flailing dangerously near the packed sideboard. O'Hara swung around to steady him. Careful. I'm not allowed to smoke in here. You're not allowed to knock things over. When Byrne didn't answer for a moment, he said in a lower, softer voice, You okay there, Burnster? Byrne looked down at the ground, the solid, steady ground. Look up, he said, barely more than a whisper. Look to where the walls meet the ceiling. O'Hara looked up to where the walls met the ceiling and staggered, because they didn't. There was half a foot of nothingness between the wallpaper and commercial ceiling tiles that he'd never seen in a domestic setting before. That's weird. Whoever built this did a terrible job. Did this used to be offices or something? Because that ceiling is ugly as no, it was purpose-built apartments. Byrne blurted out. How was I in here for so long and not noticed that? O'Hara's first response was to slag him, but Byrne was looking almost fragile in front of him. So, it's a shitty designed flat. What's new? O'Hara played with the leaf of a potted plant, slowly realized it was plastic. Smart idea. Describe the room to me. Go around it. Well, O'Hara did a cursory glance around the room. Okay, I came in from the front door. Over here on my left is the wallpaper, sideboard. In front of me is the glass wall, and the door that leads into the kitchen. Behind me is a bookcase, a sofa, and a TV. You're going to have to be clearer. What is it you see? What's on the right wall? I described it, didn't I? Wallpaper on my left, glass in front of me, bookshelf behind me. You did it again. Describe the wall on your right-hand side. O'Hara turned fully. There's nothing there. The fourth wall was missing.